Some of you guys may have seen my video on the quartering, on Jeremy Pounder Hamley. So he obviously isn't someone who I like very much, but there was kind of an interchange on Twitter that I saw, which makes me basically have to defend him a little bit. And so let me show you that real quickly, just so you can see, and I don't want to have to do this. I really don't. But I guess I'm gonna have to, just because, it's the only option that I have. So yeah, let me share this Twitter post with you guys very quickly. So right here on Twitter, this is, I guess, the actress for Aunt May and Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and I guess she just turned 60. So this is basically Jeremy retweeting it because it was her 60th birthday. This is post that Jeremy made. And anyway, the reason why I have to defend him is because somebody just said something that was like really out of left field and very absurd. So this guy named John Miller, who I don't know him at all actually, but I guess we're gonna learn a little bit about him today. So he screen grabbed, the Quarterings post, and he said all the usual suspects are drooling over this fossil with literally zero eggs in the crate. That to me is more disturbing than what they call pedophilia, because it is a sign of dangerous biological mutation in men. So he's saying that it's more disturbing that the Quartering, reposted this than pedophilia, I guess, uh, which is a very strange take to make. And I actually screen grabbed this because I was assuming he would delete the tweet, and he didn't delete it, which I guess is in some ways good for him, because it would have looked really bad if he ended up deleting it. But here, Nina Infinity said, "You either don't understand what pedophilia means, or you're a predator." I'm not going to call this guy a predator. I think he's just being shocking. Nowadays there's this thing where people really like to talk about this P word a lot. They like to throw it around for whatever reason. But yeah, this definitely comes across as somebody who's, desensitized to it. And you see this post from the redhead libertarian. She said, "Hi John, the issue with taking advantage of kids is not the no eggs in the crate. It's that the innocent prepubescent children don't understand and cannot consent to perversions. So no, admiring an adult woman who cannot have babies is not more disturbing than pedophilia, you absolute psychopath." And I also think it's funny how Nina Infinity says, "Good to see a stimulated cynic." So it's really funny for me to see Nina Infinity here saying, you either don't understand what it means, or you're a predator. But it's just kind of funny. It's like almost a very Canadian way of saying it, because it's like, maybe you don't understand. But then this is really, really hilarious. The Quartering posted this. He said he showed John Miller basically drooling over Kamala Harris. So she's obviously also a 60-year-old woman, technically like a month or two older than the person that the Quartering was fawning over. And also it was Kamala. So that guy, I guess he got bodied. But I don't believe that the Quartering is necessarily somebody who is, I guess I should say that the Quartering, when you look at him, he does kind of look like the guy you'd see on one of those wanted posters. Like in your mind, when you think of like the quintessential person who abuses children or whatever, you do kind of. I'm not saying that the Quartering is one of those guys. I'm just saying, like, you imagine somebody who kind of looks like the Quartering, and so again, I'm not saying the Quartering would do that, but the Quartering has said some things that are very disturbing before. Okay, I have the video, so let me pull this up for you, and we can watch this and be a judge. What do you think is more creepy, this John Miller guy who said what he was saying here, or what the Quartering has on this Nick McHugh video that I am about to share with you?
It's more of a public service announcement than anything else. At the office this week, we had a situation where one of the techs came across some pictures on a customer's computer that were of the child pornography variety. I don't really know if there's any tack way to put that, but The customer was reported and subsequently arrested, I believe, is last that I heard. There's even more.
Okay, so up to there, it's like, yeah, this is a pretty fair thing to talk about, right? That you work in a tech job and you figured out that, somebody had some very bad things on their computer, That's fine, but let's see kind of what he does next.
More serious. However, I've never known a tech in my life that ever took anything other than like videos or music off computers. But the point of this video is just to remind people that, as techs, we read your emails, so to speak. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it happens. Um, so if you have things that you don't want computer techs to see, you should delete them or rename them that you don't want.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say, if you're in this conversation about, people having very bad images or videos on their on their computer, and then, about kids, and then kind of like pivoting it to, if you don't want people to find out, about the stuff you have, make sure you delete it. Yeah, you don't say that.
Text to look at. Um, maybe change the folder name when you take it in if you can, or I'm not condoning it. I don't think it's necessarily right. I believe it's an invasion of privacy, but that's really why I don't really do it anymore. But I certainly did back in the day.
And here, Cosmic Vader said, "Is he also admitting to stealing music and movies from people's computers? Yeah, and maybe videos or pictures of the people, too." So he's saying that, he did do that. He says, "Well, maybe I did it," but yeah, he's saying he did it.
And I there's not a tech in the business out there right now that doesn't do it. Happens. So if you have these sorts of things, remember that computer techs do look at other things on your computer. It's sometimes it's by accident, sometimes it's by curiosity. But just keep in mind when you take things in
Or boredom.
to get you take your computer in to get it fixed. People look around on it, and you shouldn't make it real easy for people to find things.
Oof, oof. Okay, so I guess that's the quartering's advice to people who maybe have images of kids that are, illegal. So amongst other things, amongst to admitting, yeah, that he's taking videos from people, their music, pictures, kind of crazy. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like the best defense that we can give of the quartering, in that regard. Obviously, liking Aunt May's 6-year-old birthday picture isn't as weird as liking kids like that one guy was suggesting. But it is pretty weird to advise people, to delete that type of stuff off of their hard drives. And something else that Cosmic Vader was pointing out in the chat, he was mentioning firm handshakes, referencing how after Dr. Dick's Pics Erect, after he ended up, coming out and saying that he had some contact with the minor, that the quartering responded and said, firm handshakes. So he was basically like congratulating him for coming out and telling people about this stuff. And then I don't know if he just didn't read the post or, what the deal is, but yeah, a very, very absurd take. So anyway, that's kind of, I guess, what you have from the quartering.